viewers, and a very warm welcome to Wellbeing Call. This is Lola Oni speaking, and this week I'm going to be talking about emotional eating. Last week, one of the points in the video where I talked about the reasons why we eat was about eating for pleasure. So in those instances, we're eating because we enjoy the food. We like the taste of it. We like the texture. And it's tasty. It's nice. So it's not necessarily for hunger or to satisfy hunger. So, and this is a follow-on, emotional eating. And this is a situation where for a few reasons, 3-4 reasons, we find it necessary to snack or to just go to the fridge, see what we can have to eat, and just, pick what we like. And more often than not, it's usually foods that are not necessarily nutritious for our body. It's not the healthy variety, for example, because it's almost rare that you would find someone who is eating for emotional reasons or due to stress, that you would see them go to their refrigerator and have a bowl of salad and just chew on lettuce. So emotional eating, usually the craving is for sugary foods high in carbohydrates, processed pastries, so foods in that category. And so that's one of the pointers towards whether is this an emotional eating or is this to satisfy hunger. Also, one of the ways to figure out as well whether it's eating due to emotion or due to an emotional reason is when there's that urge to eat there and then, and it's an intense feeling of craving for that food. So if it's real hunger, yes, you would be hungry and want to eat there and then, but the urge wouldn't be so intense to do so. And also, if the eating is for emotional reasons, then there is every likelihood that afterwards there is a feeling of guilt, there is a feeling of shame because of the inability to have overcome that craving at that point in time. So people eat emotionally for roughly 3-4 reasons. Number one, just unhappiness. Stress is another one, is the second point. And also childhood habit, just being used to eating large amounts of food. I've come across someone before who have said, well, and this lady was in her 60s, and she said to me, well, I keep fit, I exercise, as you can see, even though I'm overweight. And she was, she did look physically fit, but, a bit of a bulky build. And she said she eats the quantity she eats because maybe shortly after the war, their parents made them eat good amounts of food, because in the war there wasn't much food. So the aftermath of that meant that parents wanted their kids to eat, the food as it is available. So it could be a childhood situation as well. And lastly, it could be social influences. But there are ways and steps that can be taken to help to get rid or overcome emotional eating. One of the key first things to do is to keep a diary. So when you keep a diary, you're able to keep track of exactly what is happening when these urges, when these cravings happen. So you can think back of how did you feel, how were you feeling at that point when you had this craving. So now, whether you actually ate at that time or not is besides the point, but just keep a diary of how was I feeling when I got this craving. Was I unhappy? Was I lonely? Was I bored? Because boredom is another one. Was I bored? Was, just, and it helps you to keep track, and that will be the way to now go back and be able to know what would work and would help you to overcome that craving for next time. So another way is to try and distract yourself for 5 minutes. If you can distract yourself for 5 minutes, there is every likelihood, if you can't do 5 minutes, do 1 minute. There is every likelihood that it would pass, that you would get over that craving. And if you can distract yourself with hobbies that you enjoy, hobbies you like, things you like doing, that works for some people. If you can distract yourself with music, that's also really helpful. Just something that you actually enjoy that could take your mind off that feeling at that point in time. Another point is about your shopping list. For the past maybe 2-3 videos actually, I've talked about the shopping list. So what you put on your shopping list is what you buy. The groceries you put on your shopping list is what you would have in your fridge, in your food cabinet, in your pantry. So if these foods are not there, well, you're not likely to go grab it. And if it's not there, it makes it even so much easier for you to hold on 5 minutes, because it probably would take you that long to walk to the shops. Maybe if you had a nearby shop, to walk to the shops to get what you're craving. So again, that helps you to, well, it hinders you in a way, but then helps you. So if you don't buy it in your shopping, then you don't have it. And another way around it is to gently remind yourself that this craving will pass, and this craving would not even solve the problem, would not solve the reason why you have this craving in the first place. So if it's boredom, well, you would finish eating whatever it is and you will still be bored. But on top of that, you will feel guilty. So that might be a helpful thought. If it's an emotional issue, then yes, that problem is still there. But then eating that food has just added another problem on top of it, because again, you feel guilty. And not only do you feel guilty, so that's another emotional issue, feeling guilty. And then on top of that, the weight gain. And then, on top of that, obviously, the way you see yourself, your self-image, because if you don't like seeing yourself with the weight that you are at the moment, then again, that's an additional distress. So those are the few ways that I believe could help to curb emotional eating. But as a last resort, if indeed you have tried various ways and still find it difficult, then there are therapies available. Cognitive behavioural therapy, it's called CBT, and they do work. It's a form of counselling, so it does work for those that, for many people that have chosen to use it. So do seek help, and there are many therapists check the register, check the professional registers, make sure that you're going for a therapist who is actually qualified. So yeah, thanks for listening, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.